Today, we are going over the 11 habits of the wealthy that is going to make us rich or die trying. So during the duration of this YouTube channel, I have come up with a business idea that won't leave my head. And now I have decided to embark on this business idea. Now, this business idea is only like 4 weeks old. So I will make sure that I update you on what this business idea is. As far as things go right now, it's just an idea. And I don't really talk about stuff that are ideas. I'm an action taker. I talk about what I do, not what I'm thinking about doing. So with that said, let's get into these habits so that I can share with you soon about what I'm up to. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Mila Millions. I like success. I like winning, and I like making money. And I will get rich or die trying. 9 years ago, when I was flat broke, I would read books like Atomic Habits. I recently just read Billionaire Habits to get myself together. And at the time, I failed to implement all of the habits because I was broke and I was desperate and I needed to make money fast. So I really did not pay too much attention to these habits because I kind of felt like they were not true, that, you know, somehow people just miraculously make a lot of money and become successful. But what I learned is habits are the foundation of you being successful. You've got to create discipline and you've got to create habits. So now we are 9 years after I started my first business, and I cannot deny that these habits actually did help me. Now I'm a mom and a wife, and it's a lot of responsibility and it's a lot of energy doing those jobs. And that's why I feel like I need to really implement these habits so that I can have some structure in my life to actually get rich, okay? Become wealthy. Because I'm not gonna use being a mom or a wife as an excuse. It does take a lot of time, it does take a lot of energy. However, everything is possible. So let's get into it. So far, we have built some blocks. We've talked about fear, we've talked about belief, we've talked about mindset. And now our next step is talking about habits and implementing them so that we can build success. Because we cannot build success without habits. Don't try to skip this part because I've tried it and it doesn't work. And by the end of this video, I will share with you 11 actionable rich habits you can implement today to start implementing the rich life you deserve. It is not luck, it's not inheritance, and it's not timing. Guess what it is? Guess what makes them rich? Habits. It's about being intentional and disciplined. Here are wealthy millionaire and billionaire habits that separate them from the rest of us. Number 1, they think long term. Bill Gates says, now I'm not a big fan of Bill Gates, okay? But he is right with making money, all right? So Bill Gates says, most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. Which means you think you can do a lot in 1 year and you don't, but you think you can't do enough in 10 years. But the thing about it is you have to mentally have patience. Billionaires play the long game. They build for legacy, not for quick wins. So you see these scammers out here trying to scam real quick. That doesn't last very long, okay? So if you want to build real wealth, you have to think long-term. You have to understand this is gonna take a long time. I started my cleaning business 9 years ago. And before that, I have never even had a job more than 3 years. But I did learn about habits, and I did learn about wealthy habits, and I did learn that you better get your mindset right, that this is gonna take some time. So understand that you have to have patience with yourself and know that you will get to your end goal step by step. Don't try to do these quick wins. Number 2, they read a lot. Warren Buffett is said to read 5 to 6 hours a day. Elon Musk learned rocket science from books, and Oprah credits reading to much of her success. So again, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when I was flat broke and I wanted to actually learn how to build wealth, I learned that rich people read books. Now, I'm a person that I am open about saying I was not the best reader in school. I was in special reading classes. Till this day, I still read slow. However, Nothing's gonna stop me. I got audiobooks, okay? So don't let anything stop you. Information and action taking is the key here. Number 3, they protect their minds. Millionaires and billionaires, wealthy people in general, curate the things that go in their minds. There's no mindless scrolling, no toxic environments, and no distractions. They are very intentional with who they talk with and what they consume. That's consuming in food, consuming in watching, consuming in hearing. Okay, don't forget all of that, you guys, because we tend to forget that when we say protect our mind, it's like being defensive. That's not what it is. Protecting your mind is always keeping your mind with information that is positive and that is useful. 9 years ago, before I started this business, or 10 years ago before I started this business, I was listening to podcasts on how people built their business. I would listen to music that made me feel like a badass, and I would listen to books. I had my ears busy all the time. When I first started my business and I was cleaning myself, you best believe I'm listening to a podcast on how somebody built something, okay? Or I'm listening to music that is encouraging me to keep being a badass, okay? Protect your mind. Protect your mind. Number 4, they prioritize health and energy. All right? They prioritize health and energy. Your body is your business. The wealthy usually sleep 6 to 8 hours a night. They eat for fuel, not for taste. They exercise regularly. They meditate, they journal, and they reflect. Comparing myself from when I was broke until now not broke, and implementing my health priority and my energy priority versus now is almost 2 different things, because I did sleep a lot because I had nothing else to do. I didn't have a TV. It was easy to prioritize my health and my energy because I felt like I didn't deserve a TV. I ate well. I did eat for fuel because I didn't have a lot of money. So I could either pick McDonald's but what I actually did do was, I didn't have a car at the time. I would walk to the grocery store and buy healthy foods. I would buy apples, beans, rice, things like that. Poor people food, but it was healthy and I survived, and that's all I needed. I needed fuel. Exercising regularly. So back then when I was broke, I didn't have any money. For a long time, I didn't have a car, and I lived in the ghetto. So it was a little bit not comfortable walking around outside, but that was my only option. So I did make sure before the sun went down that there was a nearby park that a lot of people went to go walk around, and I would go walk at that park. I also didn't have a car, so I took the bus a lot, so I walked. I walked to the grocery store because I didn't have a car, and I carried my stuff back home. But I did make sure that I got up and I did some form of exercise, and I usually just walked because I couldn't afford a $10 gym membership, and I wasn't disciplined enough to do like yoga at home. I am now, but at the time I was not. Now, fast forward to now, I've been prioritizing my exercise. I've been working out 3 days a week for the last couple of years, and recently I just started kickboxing, which mentally puts me in a different state. Mentally puts me as a rich, if you know what I'm talking about, okay? I feel pretty powerful doing kickboxing. So choose something that works for you, but make sure that you do exercise every day, whether you want to be rich or not. It's good for you. Now, meditating, journaling, and reflecting. Back then, before I started a business, I was traveling the world, and I tried to learn how to meditate in a 10-day silent meditation called Vipassana. So you're not supposed to talk for 10 days. And that's where I learned how to meditate, because for years I was trying to meditate, but I felt like I couldn't meditate for the same reasons most people say they can't meditate. You can't focus. You're thinking about a bunch of different thoughts. And so I just threw myself into a 10-day silent meditation, and I learned how to meditate. And I hadn't meditated for years after that. I actually was not sure if meditation worked, but reflecting on that experience, it did work. So we're in 2025, May, as of December 2024, I started meditating daily. So up until this day, I have meditated every day since December 22nd, 2024, and it has helped me tremendously. And I can't wait to share my journey with you guys on that on another video. Journaling, I have not journaled. Like, I do have a journal, but it's like whenever I feel like journaling, and usually it's negative emotions that make me journal, and I'm trying not to do that. And I have not started journaling just yet, but that's my next step, because if millionaires and billionaires journal, I probably should journal. And that's another thing with these habits, is a lot of times we don't really know why we need to do these habits, but they work. Okay, so it might be something metaphysical that's going on, but know that meditation has worked tremendously for me. I've always had this fire inside that's on, and let me tell you, throw a little gas on it and it explodes. So I have been able to maintain my emotions a lot better now that I meditated. It makes me take time to think and wish for myself and plan for myself, and it's been great. I highly encourage reflecting. You always have to reflect.